Now let's talk about various concepts within Wexa. So we'll start with dashboard and different features that are actually available on dashboard. So on the dashboard, you will first be able to see different analytics related to coworkers that are running in your workspace. You'll be able to access the workspace from the top bar. So when you click on the workspace, you will also be able to create a new workspace. Now let's create a new workspace. Now in this case, let's call it as OTL. Okay. A new workspace has been created now, and now let's uh, really try to hire a new coworker into this workspace. Hiring a coworker is easy. You don't necessarily have to create a coworker from scratch. Now just go to Marketplace, and now within Marketplace, now let's search for a coworker that I need. So let's say I try to hire this LinkedIn specialist who can actually communicate with leads on LinkedIn. So it extracts the information and save the information to a Wexa table. So let's start the hiring process. Click on hire. So I'm hiring into this workspace, into tutorials. Click on hire. So now let's add a new configuration. It's in this particular screen, you would have to configure all the connectors that are actually being used within the coworker. So what is a connector? So a connector could be any system that is out there. So it could be LinkedIn, it could be Facebook, it could be Instagram, it could be a RESTful API. When you are hiring a coworker, you will be asked to configure your connectors as well in case the coworker is using certain connectors. So in this case, the coworker we are trying to use, it is using a LinkedIn connector. So now let's configure a new connector. So I'll call it as hidden LinkedIn. So I just have to fill in my email and password in this case. You would actually be able to see different actions that are there. I've just filled in my username and password for LinkedIn, and there are different actions that you can configure. Usually just keep all of them switched on, and now once I'm done, just on submit. So it is setting up the connector. Connector has been set up successfully, and then let's go to the next. So it requires tables. So there is a table that is required for it to automatically create. Click on next, and then I would rather call this as Jason, LinkedIn specialist, so communication manager. Okay, I'm totally fine with that. Then I'm done. There you go. So if I refresh my coworkers, I should have my coworker here. So you can also see what is happening under the hood. So you can pretty much do exactly the same thing that we did in the previous tutorial video as well. So you can see what is happening within the coworker as well, each agent and how this particular agent has been configured. So now let's say for this particular coworker, the way of running it is just click on the run button. You should essentially be able to, send a message to you already have the examples out here. So how you have to use this coworker. So basically you can send a message. You just have to give the instructions in the goal here, wherein this coworker specifically is sending a message based on the examples that you provided here. So that's how you configure a coworker and start running a coworker. So once you run it, a message will be sent to the individual. Now let's go back. That's how you configure your first coworker as well. Um, analytics would usually take some time to publish. The moment you actually run a coworker, they would be published automatically. First, let's go back to the coworker screen and then try to run the coworker that we have uh, you know created earlier. So let me get a LinkedIn URL. Copy this, and it's, I mean, I basically have to send a message to that particular user. So now here are the example messages. So I just gave two examples like, "Hi Nathan, I hope you're doing well. I da 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 da," and then regards. So now let me add my name here, Kiran, and then example two of the batch, Kiran. So I just gave two examples. So it is going to frame the messages based on these two examples. Let's send it. Now it's probably going to do a lot of stuff. Let it happen. So behind the screen, this is also going to create a table. So you already have the contacts list. So we should actually get the first name, last name, headline, country, language, is a relationship or not, website, email, birth date, education summary, work experience, skill summary, general summary, LinkedIn messages sent. Wow, this is pretty comprehensive. So now let's see if this particular coworker is actually going to extract all of this information for us or not. Let's head over. So it already extracted the LinkedIn profile data. That is quite a lot of data. Okay. Oh, okay. This is interesting. And yeah, it should send a message as well. What is the message that it has sent? Okay, hi Aditya. I hope you're doing well. I noticed your impressive work as okay, good. So it did customize the message as I asked it to. Let's see if it is sent across or not. So click on message. There you go. Perfect. So now let's see if the table has been populated with information. So there we go. The first name, last name, headline. Nice. Perfect. So this is how you get started with a basic coworker. In the next couple of videos, I'm going to explain different concepts that are there within Wexa. We'll go one by one, and I mean tables, connectors, how do you create all of them, and how do you write your first connector as well. Stay tuned.